Surviving Mars Relaunched arrives November 10th, but what's updated or new? And is the Ultimate Edition really all that ultimate? Peckaroo here, and in short, the relaunched version of Surviving Mars looks like it will be a significant upgrade to the 2018 Colony Sim. The game comes with all 3 expansions, 8 smaller content packs, and 3 audio packs. Over the past month, 8 feature highlight videos and blog posts were released to showcase improvements and additions to the game. The improved visuals are immediately apparent among these changes. The color of everything from the landscape to the user interface is easier on the eyes, and it creates a better sense of depth. The updated user interface aligns more of its elements in a single row across the top of the screen, which makes things feel less crowded. Having the numbers below their corresponding resource icons, rather than sandwiched between the icons, makes everything easier to read. Beyond the overhauled visuals and user interface, Relaunch changes gameplay mechanics that were introduced in DLC. Talking about how the trains have been reworked, the Haymimont Games developer diary says, "The info panels of stations were streamlined for easier use, and trains are now constructed as prefabs that can be assigned to available tracks. Tracks can be placed freely, even over bumpy terrain and on slopes, and it's now possible to create a line that passes through several stations and loops back to where it started. Tracks also conduct power, so you don't need to place additional cables between stations and adjacent buildings in order to connect them to the grid." Another change, which may be a bit of a controversial decision, is to remove the fluid transportation. Some of you will remember that trains could be converted to transport water and oxygen. Well, now they can't. Further changes come as the underground maps from Below and Beyond have been made wider so that larger buildings can fit in them. Asteroids have better lighting, and a new building called an asteroid catcher will allow you to stabilize the asteroid so it doesn't escape. Politics for small colonies begin with the Earth Council, which allows you to enact a small number of laws. When your colony grows, you can build the Martian Assembly, which gives you access to many more laws. You can also eventually proclaim independence from your sponsor. Surviving Mars Relaunched will cost $39.99, but you get a $20 discount if you already own the original version of the game on the same platform and the same account. If you already own the original version, you will maintain access to it and all DLCs, but it will not be possible to buy the original version once Relaunched releases on November 10th. Surviving Mars Relaunched seems like it will provide a lot of value, especially to those who have never played the game or are missing DLC. I am a bit more skeptical of the value of the Ultimate Edition of the game, which costs an additional $20, making it $59.99 total. This will include a new mission sponsor, Interplanetary Codex, and 2 future expansions. Feeding the Future, which is set to release Q2 of 2026, will expand food and production systems, introducing deeper management options and meal choices that affect comfort and sanity. Machine Utopia, which will be released Q4 of 2026, brings mechanized labor and massive industrial options to the Red Planet. These expansions sound interesting and meaningful, but I would never pre-order a game, and the idea of pre-ordering downloadable content more than half a year in advance and calling it an Ultimate Edition is even more absurd. Paradox Interactive did a similar thing with Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, where its premium edition also has 2 expansions that will be released in 2026. This practice stinks, but they're not the only company doing it. Imagine having a lovely meal at a restaurant and the waiter asks if you'd like dessert, only to give you a spoonful of ice cream now and tell you the rest will be delivered sometime next year. Obviously, you as an individual have every right to buy the Ultimate Edition, and Paradox Interactive has every right to sell it. But I would never. With all that being said, Surviving Mars Relaunched looks great. Will you be picking it up? Subscribe for more, and thanks for watching. Godspeed.